brother. Oh, yeah. Woo! What? What? If you smell what the rock... You got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man.
Welcome to another edition of Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Alboski. That guy is Professor Keith, as always. And the man has returned, Keith, to Around the Turnbuckle in the form of Irvin Legend. What's up, my man?
What up, man?
I want to first and foremost wish you a Merry Christmas to you and yours, and to everybody watching. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year, as Keith and I will not be here next weekend. So Happy New Year to everybody. And Merry Christmas to everybody, and I hope everybody had a safe and happy, healthy one. And Irvin, I'm so glad to see you. We were talking pre-show. Lots happened since the last time we've seen you. So I'm giving you the floor first and foremost. How you been?
Busy, man. Even on Christmas, I'm, in the studio mixing, still experimenting. I mean, I took a seminar. I make beats, but I don't, I had to learn how to master it, put stuff together, do voiceover. So like I've been experimenting, but I got an engineer for that. But I'm like, I need to know how to do some of this stuff myself because my engineer out of town, I can't depend on him. So I've been just really experimenting with music and just writing and just staying busy, still training people in the gym, still locking down schools for the following year, depending on how this COVID thing is going.
Right.
So, I've been all over the place.
So you're dividing your time between wrestling, motivational speaking, and now you're starting to work on breaking into music. Talk about the music.
Well, I got stories for days. I mean, from the time I was a baby to the time I was in the streets, to the time I broke into wrestling and everything in between. I have about over a decade of stories to tell. And it's like, I tell stories in my body in wrestling, but personally, I have a message to send. Some's violent, some's depressing, some's motivational. So, I've always been a musician. Like when I was young, I used to write. I used to do battle raps. So I've always been into music. But I didn't think it was a possibility because just like I didn't think wrestling was a possibility. And I gave it a shot and look what happened. So, I kind of use wrestling as a test to see how big I can get on my own. And when I put my mind to something, so I think I have the same confidence to break into music. I mean, you got the Island Boys, for God's sake, who quite frankly can't even get out a single sentence. So I think I'll be all right.
I think you will too. And I told you pre-show, and I'm going to repeat it here live, that you have been working on your career in wrestling for 8 years. So you have the promo skills, you have all that under your belt, and then you have the motivational speaking. Plus you have all that you've been through in life to dive into in your writing. So I think, like you just said, you got oodles of stuff in here that you just get it down on paper and I think you'll be all right. I think you'll have plenty of content, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you come up with.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think everything you've done so far helps you too, because like you said, confidence. You've been selling yourself with wrestling, with motivational speaking, with everything else. That's all about selling yourself, selling who you are, selling your story. That can't not but help you with the music too.
Merry Christmas, Chris.
Right. No, I'm a smart businessman. So to me, it'd be a complete different if we broke in wrestling with no fan base. So I got fans. I got fans all over the world. So doesn't matter what I do, they're gonna follow me. So music, my fan base is already there, and then that gives me room to increase my fan base. So I've been picking my spots. I'm not saying becoming a rapper was in the cards since I was a kid, but I knew I was meant for the big screen, whether it was rapping, acting, wrestling, whatever. So it's just
there's another thing. Have you ever thought of that? There's another thing. Have you ever thought of auditioning for things, parts, commercials, anything like that?
It's funny you mentioned that because I was saving this to be on air, but I'm also breaking into acting, and I actually emailed Investigation Discovery, and I got my first gig for like one of the murder shows next year.
Wow!
So I I have to go up to California because I'm reenacting a murder that actually happened. And what they do is they have the episodes. Like say if 5'10" African American man like killed this Caucasian girl or ginger girl, whatever. They look at guys in that state that kind of fit the description. So unfortunately for me, the guy that actually did in real life, I fit the bill, the look. So they emailed me that, hey, we want this part for this. My money will fly you out. We'll give you the script, and you're under a name to protect your real name. So I got my first reenactment TV gig fall. So I'm gonna say October.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's
now,
great.
is that going to allow you to get your SAG card as well, or you're not sure?
I mean, we'll see. I think once you're on Investigation Discovery, which is a big channel, that opens up opportunities for other things. Because I also applied for Bachelor and they didn't take me. But I mean, I'm doing other things. I don't need Bachelor now because I'm
dude.
not,
if you were, I would die. My wife would die if you were on Bachelor. That's no lie at all.
I applied, and honestly, the reason why they cut me is because my app didn't make the deadline in time. It wasn't that they didn't accept me; it was I turned my application in too late, and they already picked up the 10. But I feel like if I would turn in a week earlier, I would have made it. I was like, damn. And plus, I'm not saying no Bachelor for me.
Yeah. No, I think you would have too, because I mean, what are you looking for on that, right? Good looking guy, and not to be creepy or weird or anything. You got that down. You got good personality. You can talk, you can think on your feet. You're not a block of wood out there. I agree with you. I think if you had gotten it in, you would have either made it or you would have been one of those guys where it's like, man, you're going to have a hard time cutting me. You're going to hate yourself for cutting me.
Right. I mean, I'm just trying to I was just trying to try something new. So Bachelor didn't work. I mean, the challenge didn't work because I really wanted to be in the challenge with Leo, but he made it before I did. I mean, I got other projects I'm trying. This whole like reenactment, murder, investigation, horror thing I'm doing is gonna be dope because that, I've always been like, even told my sister, he's like, we should go to college. I'm too busy to go to college. But if I did go to college, I'd go to college for forensics, so I can become like a private investigator, or I would do the sports medicine, become a doctor. But I'm like, like that ties into my one of my goals.
That's 10 years. That's 10 years school, isn't it? Sports medicine.
Private investigator? Being a PD?
No, sports med.
Yeah, which means I'd be 41 by the time I got my degree. But
I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying that's a lot. I mean,
it's a commitment.
Honestly,
you could be a PI in 3 years.
Yeah, I think if I went to college, it would have been smarter. But honestly, like I can, I've done all right so far without a college degree. I don't want to overwhelm myself. I just got so many goals I want to do. Acting is definitely one of them. So we'll see how I perform on the big screen and how terrifying I look and how creepy the guy was. And the guy was a weirdo.
So
let's the next horror icon, Alan. Maybe we're talking to like the next big franchise. You just got to get the right part. He'll be like the next Chucky or Freddy or any of that. I'd love that.
Vin Diesel. All right, so listen. Let's backtrack a little bit. So he's working on his music career. He's trying to break into rap. He's working on his acting career. He's already got a part coming up next fall. So then you got the music, you got that going on, but you still got that side of you, the professional wrestler, because you just signed with AWA. Can you talk about that?
I mean, they hit me up after the AEW, like, hey, can you get this, and this day? I'm like, wait a minute. What y'all about? Who y'all got on your roster? Yeah. What y'all looking for? I saw some of the talents. So it was an easy decision. He faxed me the papers. I signed it. April 30th in Maryland is when I debut. And whoever's bringing me, I feel sorry for it because they're not going to be ready for me. So they better put down their lobster rolls and crab cakes and hit the cardio machine because I'm blowing up mad quick.
You like the little Maryland reference there, Keith?
I did.
So yeah, so they saw you on AEW Dark, and they like what they saw, and they wanted to book you.
Yeah.
Have you gotten any other people throwing inquiries thrown your way since then?
I have a few. Well, I got one in Pennsylvania that I'm interested in, but both sides are still at a stalemate in terms of pay because I'm not going to bury a lot of these promoters, but they like to lowball people, and I'm not a lowballing type of cat. So
Right.
you might have been able to get me 4 years ago with that, but not now. I mean,
Right.
You see who's on my resume. You know who backs me up. You see who I'm in contact with. So if you want to book me, that's not going to be for no $50.
Yeah,
right.
damn.
So
Right.
inquiries only kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm a
because
business.
damn, I wish there was somebody in Pennsylvania that could pay you what you're worth, because that's our neck of the woods. We could see you live, man. We have never seen you live, and that would be a thrill since we've gotten to know
I
you.
think one of the promotions is called Imagine Wrestling, and then the other promotion is I think IWC. I can't remember what part of Pennsylvania. It might be Alplatoon or something. Or I don't know.
I think
I'm up to
that's
look.
Altoona. I think you're talking
Yeah.
about Altoona, and
Yeah.
that's Western PA. Keith's in Jersey, and I'm in Eastern PA. So I'm in the
Okay.
Allentown. I'm in the Allentown area, like somebody like Alpha and the Samoans, WXW. If you came up and worked for them, that's where I would get to see you.
Speaking of Alpha, I sent him a request about a week ago, and he shot me messages like, "Stay in touch." So, I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. I could be anywhere. I mean,
That's a heck
right
of
now,
a talent wrestler, bro. That is a heck of a talent wrestler. His champion is Chico Adams, who has been on AEW and WWE. He's really talented, so you could be wrestling guys like him.
I know Chico. Chico's a good dude. I remember,
He
he's cool with me and TJ too. So I know Chico. He's cool.
I would love to see that. I would pay to, whatever they charge on the WXW. I've never been to a live WXW show, but
Matter of fact, if you want to see me out there, we need to hit Alpha up because Alpha on my friends list. You can always throw that idea to him. See if he wants to make that happen. Because the more people that talk to him about it, yeah.
Keith, we'd be ringside, right?
Oh, totally.
In a heartbeat. Allentown is about 20 minutes from where I live.
Yeah, only about half an hour for me.
I'm also looking on some Texas dates too.
Okay,
so that's gonna be cool. Good old Texas.
Texas is always a big wrestling state. So you make your debut in AEW in April, but meanwhile you're just I mean, right now probably you're enjoying the holidays, but you're always working. You always stay busy. You're probably writing if you're working on music. By the way, I just got a personal message from a colleague of ours that you might have heard of named TJ Spitter, who just woke up, so he's not going to comment live on the show, but he wants whatever you feel like sending him. He would love some samples.
Okay.
So
I got a beat I made for me and my team made that if he wants to listen to one of my beats.
Yeah, he would listen to anything you send him. So if you're friends with him on Facebook, otherwise you send it to me, I could forward it to him. So yeah, definitely. He would be interested. He's very interested because, like I told you pre-show, I don't know anything about rap. I don't know anything about hip hop. I'm not gonna lie about it. If I hear your stuff compared to somebody else's, I might hear your stuff and say it's the most amazing thing I ever heard. Next to the same, somebody else who's been in the business for 20 years. I don't know. I don't have that musical ear. My acumen is like I've always listened to rock my whole life. So, but TJ knows hip hop for 30 years worth of hip hop, both local and national and whatever else worldwide. So,
and he's done it, so he can probably,
right. He's got albums out to himself. I mean, he
can break it down.
He's a local artist, but he never made it big. But I'm saying he could tell the difference between what's really, really good and what's really, really, it's all right, but it needs this, that, or the other thing. So he would give you definite, like, true non-business constructive criticism. Like he would not pull any punches. Like me, you'd send me something and I'd say it's great because I love you. You know what I mean? So I would be biased.
You'd be
I would
more
be
in the
biased
I
as
don't know
fuck.
art, but I know what I like kind of category.
Right. I would be biased as fuck. Whereas he would say, you know what I mean? Now you send me a wrestling match. Yeah, I'll critique your damn wrestling match because that's what I know. I've been a wrestling fan for over 40 years. But rap, I don't know what I really don't know what's good or bad.
He's a harsh
I mean,
critic
you got drill rap, you got old school drill rap, emo, you got dubstep, you got so many different genres of rap.
Yeah.
Like the new school Island Boys bullshit. I mean, there's different things. Different
Well, I mean,
I kind of feel like those guys are maybe a little bit of a fad. I don't know if they're going to stick around.
I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you a TJ Spitter question because this is what he would ask somebody if he's talking to a rap artist. All right, what's on your playlist?
I got a little bit. I can think from Dre, Pac, Biggie, Nipsey, even King Von, Jay-Z, a little bit of Ludacris, a little bit of The Game. I mean, shit. I even got John Lennon, who's not a rapper.
I know John Lennon. John Lennon's up my alley.
Yeah, I got different mix, not just rap. I mean, I got some rock. I got some Five Finger Death Punch. I got some Aerosmith. I got a whole bunch of shit.
So yeah, so the word for that is eclectic, right? You're not honed in on just one type of music. You can.
Because I actually think if you put rock and roll together, that's just gonna be hot. Right. So I mean, there's different ways you can combine music. I mean, I'm not a big country, but if I'm forced to listen to country, if you have me tied up upside down, if I had to pick one country artist, it'd probably be Johnny Cash. Because the thing with Johnny Cash is he told stories. Like it's not more about pickup trucks and being divorced. Like that man had actual stories. So that kind of made me a fan. Any musician that could tell a story, I'll mess with. So Johnny Cash for country, not a reggae fan at all.
Well,
but yeah.
You lost me at country, man, because I can't stand it. I can't stand country.
Well, technically, to me, I think Johnny Cash is dark country. Like country to me is like Willie Nelson and shit like that. I don't mess with but Johnny Cash is all right. He all right.
To me, Johnny Cash is hard to quantify because he has country, but then he also has the really rock stuff, and then. Like you say, he's a storyteller. He's a guy that had a lot of pain and he found a way to channel that pain and, give something amazing to the world. I think the world of Johnny Cash.
And honestly, like one of my most favorite modern day rappers is deceased now, but I already mentioned King Von. Like I can relate to King Von in a lot of ways because we both tell stories. We're both from Chicago. He grew up in O Block. I grew up in West Garfield, and that's different areas, but it's still dangerous. Right. You had to be strapped when outside because if you weren't strapped, you shot. That's just how it is. And I've already been shot. As a matter of fact, I had a bullet in my leg still. They never took that out. So I got the scars to prove, what I've been through. I got stabbed. I got gutted like a fish. I mean, what more do I need to say with my past?
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of the greatest artists of all time have come from bad places and gone through a lot of that same shit, right?
Yeah, that's just how it is. You got a lot of rappers that be capping and say, "Oh, I've been a hard life," but they grew up in mansions and had Bentleys at 13 years old and don't know shit about the system. I've actually had to steal bread and cook it in bacon fat to eat. Like I grew up fucking broke.
Right.
You mentioned that's why I like wrestling. You got people to take advantage. I don't like people to take advantage of people because I've been taken advantage of enough, a lot. I'm just. Yeah.
You mentioned your experience at AEW Dark. I got the feeling that that wasn't everything that was cracked up to be. Am I wrong in reading that?
Well, let's just say it's a business. I had to put my Marcus tendencies aside. and be a professional. I was really excited. I got there. Everybody treated me like I worked there, which was cool.
Right.
I got my payday. I got my recognition, but there were still things that went on there that was my fault, but it got blown out of proportion. And there's just, it doesn't matter what the level you're at. There's always people that want to ruin your reputation, experience. Sure. It was one of those type of things, and it definitely put a damper on my experience. Like now, it's like, damn, you're at one of the highest levels. You still being a little bitch and going behind my back and trying to start shit. Like, you think I want to hear about it? Like, I had to hear about it from my home promotion. It's like, okay, whatever. We grown man, y'all act like a bunch of females. But if I see you for real, you ain't gonna say shit. No, you're gonna try and shake with that brother shit. I'm a real ass dude, so if you got some shit to say, just say it. And whatever happens, happens. I'm not a backdooring dude. I don't like somebody talking shit about me or something that I did or said, hey, look what Irvin did. Nah, be a man. Don't be a little bitch and say it to my face. Don't go behind my back till people in the locker room and no. So yeah, that kind of like damn, they do that type of stuff in there still.
Sure.
But on a positive note, I'm very grateful for the opportunity I got, and honestly, I mean, AEW was cool. The people were cool. Respectful. So that was cool.
Yeah, I was happy. I was happy to see you there, but I'm going to what Alan said, and I know it was a case of obviously they knew what they wanted. You were kind of coming in, and it was a work for hire deal. It was okay, this is what you want tonight. This is what you want to see. I was upset they didn't give you more to do because I know you can do more than what you showed. I wish they would have given you a little more offense built into it, because to me, like I this is just my assumption. The point of Dark, I get it. You're doing a squash. You want to put Ricky Starks and Hobbs over, but it's like, but why can't you let you and your partner have some offense, have some defense, run a couple of spots, just to see what they've gotten you guys if they want to add you guys to the team too.
Yeah, well, maybe
that's the thing. The mark and not understanding.
Here's the thing: they all have a time limit. I'm a professional, so I do what's asked. But immediately when I was given, I'm like, damn, I can do so much more. But I did what they wanted. I got their guys over. Well, got they're already over. I put them over. Me and my partner put them over.
Right.
So I was happy with that, and they're professionals. I'm happy, but I still feel like I think we had 9 minutes. No, 9 minutes. We could have done way more. Maybe some double teams, but I'm not going to be ungrateful. It is what it is. But at the same time, people understand. Dynamite and Rampage is the main shows. Elevation and Dark are shows for talents that are new, that they are interested in, or enhancement talents. I got brought in as an enhancement talent.
Right.
I mean, that's normally how big companies see what you can do is give it a squash match. Everybody's done it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I can't say I'm better, I'm not better than anybody else. I got what they thought I could do, but it's like that's not all I could do. I mean, that's just it is.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you pre-show that watching that when I personally watched your appearance there, it brought me back to like the first time I ever saw Jeff Hardy. And look what Jeff Hardy had become. The first time I ever saw Jeff Hardy was on an episode of Wrestling Challenge where nobody knew who the hell he was. He was this bleach blonde kid, skinny as a rail, maybe 150 pounds soaking wet. Nobody knew who he was. And I forget exactly who he wrestled. I want to say Razor Ramon, but I could be wrong in saying it. It was early 90s. So, but anyway, they brought him in and like I said, Razor beat him in like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. So, I mean, there's that. So, I mean, you did what was asked of you. That's all you can do. And hopefully they saw how well you sold and how well you know what I mean? And how well you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, who knows? I mean, something could come out of that. Something can't.
I did get a lot of feedback, good and bad. One of my friends from, the opposite company, I was kind of worried. I'm like, damn. I don't know if I told you about WWE debacle, but I was going to be using extra work and something happened where they decided not to use me last minute. Right. So I spent all this money on prepping on shit that I didn't get. But, some of my WWE homies reached out to me like, I got heat with them because I went to AEW. Nah, they say, they're proud of me. So, I mean, that was cool. everybody's supporting everybody, but it's like I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm better than being in the Handsome talent. I mean, it was an opportunity to be on TV. I mean,
Right.
I was on TV, so I can't be too, butthurt. But I just, me personally, I don't unless the guy's 6'6", 10 something pounds. I don't really believe in squash matches. I mean, I kind of feel like we could have done some back and forth stuff, and we all could have had a match. But I mean, that's how they wanted it, so that's what happened. And it was all right. It was cool.
Well, I mean,
but it does show you once you sign that contract, you don't have that freedom anymore. So I mean, that was an easy decision for me to be like, doesn't matter where I go, the system's still working me. I'm sick and tired. I want to work. This is what I'm gonna say. I want to work the system. The system don't need to work me, because the system's been working me 10 years. I need to work. The system need to pay me. I don't need to pay the system. So that was an easy decision. Like, all right, I want to focus on making money on my own terms. Rec label, okay, but I'm putting out my own shit. So I don't worry about. I'm gonna hit no promoters up. You need to do this and this, and you get paid. No, I need to get paid on my own terms. So it was an easy decision. Like, all right, maybe I need to try something else, because I'm 20 years old. My body's beat to shit. Mentally, I'm hurt and I'm tired mentally. So, I mean.
See, I would think that whole experience, for you, would be nothing but motivation to do whatever you want. I mean, whether it be wrestling or not, I think it would be motivation, because you did what they told you to do, and like you said, it's time to flip the script. And if you want to do music, you want to do acting, you want to do anything else, where they're coming for you, not the other way around. You know what I mean?
And like I said, the retire.
I don't want to
way too recent now. You got people that retire and come back in a month. Like I said on the pre-show, I can walk away and be happy, because at the end of the day, it wasn't even landing a contract. It was being on national television and being seen by people all over the world, and that's what I did. From Virginia, you know how hard it was to make it on TV from Virginia, because Virginia's not a popular state in wrestling. No, and I did that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to minimize it all, and I'm afraid that, like, that might be the vibe that we're giving, is that we're minimizing it. Like, no, you got on national television. Sure, we're biased. I mean, we'd love to have seen you do more. We'd love to see you go out there, do 20 minutes, tear the house down, beat them, and all that stuff. We're biased. We're fans, I don't want to minimize what you did. You went out there, you got on national television. How many guys at the end of the day can say that, good, bad, or indifferent, that, hey, they were on national television, they got their name on national television, and that is an accomplishment, and that is something to be proud of. And, I'm, as a fan of yours, I'm happy that AEW gave you that opportunity.
I mean, I owe them a lot. They gave me a chance when other companies wouldn't. I mean, so I forever owe them that.
And it led to Assault Wrestling Alliance in Maryland, which you'll start in April. But meanwhile, that's your wrestling fix. Meanwhile, you're still motivationally speaking. You're still working on your music career. You're still and now you're talking about breaking into acting. So, man, I think since the day I met you, everything that you've been through in your life, you've stormed forward. Like, you've come out on the other side, still breathing, still alive, still surviving. So no matter what obstacle comes your way, I really think that you're going to leap those obstacles, just like that experience at AEW taught you. It taught you that now what to expect. Now what they're expecting. Now what you need to do. It kind of pointed you in the other direction, maybe away from wrestling a little bit, and focus on other things. And sometimes life does that to you. You keep throwing you curveballs, like my grandfather always said, throw me curveballs, and I just keep swinging.
Right. I mean, that's what you gotta do in life. Shit's gonna get tough. It's gonna get heavy. You just gotta keep hustling.
And I have no doubt that you're going to get there. I'm not a betting man, so I'm not willing to bet whether it be music or whether it be acting. But I think you could do either. I think you could probably succeed in both. But obviously Keith and I always wish you the best in whatever you do. I don't, whether it's music, whether it's acting, man, I just love that I have met you because you inspire me and Keith to do better in what we do.
Everybody
really
needs
appreciate
positive people around them.
Yeah.
TJ always says, Keith, TJ always says, the thing everybody's saying nowadays, which is you got to give people their flowers while they're still around and smell them.
Yeah.
So I mean, Irvin Legend is, if anything, Irvin Legend is an inspirational person who has never quit, because if he did, he'd be gone a long time ago.
Yep. Whether it be by my hand or somebody else's, I mean,
Yeah.
The thing me, making me go is I still got a message to send, whatever that message is. I mean, so. Yeah.
So I'm looking at some of the people involved in Assault Wrestling Alliance, and I gotta say, there's some impressive big dudes that you're going to be throwing with in AWA. When I say big, I'm used to looking at some of these rosters who have a bunch of guys on there that are 150 pounds soaking wet. But there's some big boys in AWA. Are you aware of this?
I'm fully aware of that.
And I don't really.
Question is,
go ahead.
The question is, it's not can Urban Legend keep up with them? Can they keep up with me?
Right.
Because they've never dealt with somebody like me. They've never been in the ring with an athlete like myself. I'm an all around season athlete, from winter to spring to summer to fall. So they got to keep up with me. And then I'm not splitting the size at all.
Did they mention to you that they have a TV, a local Maryland TV deal now?
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
So that's cool, Keith, because what that means is we can look that shit up and watch him when he actually does wrestle for them when he starts in April, and we want to see those matches. They'll be accessible.
I've said for a while, I think that's one of the greatest things that's coming out of where the media landscape is going now for wrestling, certainly, is that there's all this local content now that is finding an outlet beyond just, whatever the local cable companies reach is. The pay-per-view companies want content. Things like Fight TV and the apps out there, they want content. And I think that's so great for guys. And like you said, Irvin, that helps someone like you that's saying, hey, I don't care whether I'm at the national level yet or not, you're going to pay me. I'm a businessman. If I'm going to go in there and I'm going to, do this and take bumps, I'm going to get the most money I can possibly get. And I think that helps your leverage. That helps your ability to go in there and say, okay, I know I'm worth a little more now because of what your television coverage is and how many people I've been seen by. Now I'm worth a little bit more. I can command that extra price, and you're going to pay it. You're not going to be able to lowball me.
And that lowballing shit is just getting old. If you're not in a position to pay your talent, maybe you shouldn't be having those shows. I mean, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what people think. $50 here and there. This is stupid. We're pro athletes. I mean, we're wrestling for you. We need to get paid.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they do it because they find those guys that only value themselves at $50 or a hot dog and a handshake or all that. I get paying your dues and all that, but like going back to the Hardys, Matt Hardy said it, and he's right. Everybody's got a bump card. Nobody knows how many bumps are on the bump card before it's finally used up, but every bump gets taken off that card, no matter how big, how small, and eventually everybody's going to take that last bump, and they just can't take no more. So you got to try to monetize every bump for as much as you can.
Yep.
So I asked you a question earlier about your influences in music, and I also when we had you on last, when we talked about your full wrestling career, we asked you about your influences as far as in the ring. The fact that I'm excited, the fact that you're talking about breaking into acting as well. Can I ask you a question of who influences you on the screen, whether it be movies or TV? Is there a certain actor that, you know, inspires you to get into that business?
There's so many. If I had to pick three, definitely Rock. Kevin Hart and Tyrese Gibson.
Okay.
So to be fair to say, your kind of your viewing diet is kind of action movies and comedies.
Yeah,
or
most of action.
More over the place.
I mean, I'm more of an action guy. I like comedies, but I always connect with the action movies.
So,
like
yeah,
to me,
I mean, the names that you named, I first thing I think of is Fast and the Furious, and right? Am I wrong?
Fast and Furious is cool, but one of my favorite movies that I liked was Gridiron Gang.
Okay.
Or Gridiron Gang or Walking Tall. But Fast and Furious is cool.
I have a movie that I highly recommend you see if you haven't already. And that is King Richard.
I probably should see
I heard that was good. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, King Richard, Keith, is the true story of the Vanessa and Serena Williams' father, and how the Williams sisters, how they broke into tennis in the beginning in the first place, and how he's the major reason why they became what they became, which is synonymous with tennis. You don't know Dick. If you don't know Dick about tennis, you know who Serena Williams is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what Serena Williams has become. Venus was good. Serena's better. And so, I mean, and Serena was damn good. I mean, I'm sorry, Venus was damn good. Just imagine, but Serena is better. And I don't watch tennis, but I've seen Serena play over the years. I've seen her play Wimbledon. I've seen her play, US Open, all that, because she's just fun to watch play tennis. She's just amazing, an amazing athlete. And at 41, one of the greatest tennis players, if not the greatest tennis player of all time. She's one of the top 3.
Yeah, I always think of myself as a movie guy, as well as being, huge wrestling fan and all that. But lately, it's been really hard to get to the movies, even if there's stuff where I'm like, I really want to see that. I got to make the time.
King Richard's on HBO Max.
Okay, that always helps me.
So you can watch it there.
That always helps me. I just click a couple buttons.
No, it's on HBO Max. And you know what else? And that's how I watched it. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it on HBO Max, and I did not know. Like, I knew a lot about them. I did not know that they were from Compton. Like, that's where they came from.
Yeah, rough out there.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you imagine their father taking them to the local tennis court in Compton and trying to get them to practice with all those guys kind of driving around and shit like that? You know what I mean? It was rough.
That's one of their sisters got killed in drive-by out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you see the movie?
I think her name was Yolande Price. I think that's what her name was.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that movie, Irvin?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Will Smith is in it, and it's really good. It's really good.
Check it out.
But yeah,
it's playing me on Real Talk more, Helen.
Well, no, you're right. Well, I don't like Real Talk was an idea, and I kind of think that Real Talk's kind of fallen off the wayside, and it's hard to get me and Adrian together. And I mean, he wants to do one about the new Matrix, which he's just going to tear apart because the new Matrix sucks, frankly, quite
Really?
frankly.
I had heard the opposite. I've got to sit down and watch that. I
Then
knew
watch
that.
it. Please
Yes,
do. And
I knew it would be controversial because those always are
please,
past the first
okay,
one.
please watch it and tell me your opinion, because I'll value your opinion over his. But
Yeah, I'll have
anyway,
to sit down in the next couple of days.
It's funny that Irvin Legend mentioned Dwayne Johnson, because it seems like I underestimated Dwayne Johnson when he first broke into acting. I thought basically he was just going to be, the muscle in every action movie, but like, he's diverse and he can play anything that you want him to play. He could be the funny guy in a comedy. He could be, I mean, the movie I just saw with him recently was both. It was an action comedy with Ryan Reynolds, and it was on Netflix, called Red. Oh man, it's Red something, Red State.
No,
Anyway,
that was a Kevin Smith movie, but no, I know. I think I know the one you mean. I can't think of the title either.
yeah, that's gonna bother
Don't
me.
make me think. I'm tired today.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
on
got
Net.
through Christmas.
It was a direct to Netflix thing, which has become a thing now. Netflix and Hulu are making their own movies and putting them
Yeah,
straight.
they got studios behind them.
Right. So they had The Rock, and they had Ryan Reynolds, and they had Gal Gadot from Wonder Woman, and they put all three of them in the movie. How can you lose? I'll look it up, but
Yeah, we are way off topic. This point,
no.
we're
He
way out
mentioned
in the weeds.
because he mentioned his influence as being Dwayne Johnson, and I find that intriguing, not just because Dwayne Johnson used to be a wrestler and that's what he was labeled at, but he has done a titanic leap away from wrestling. And when you mentioned Dwayne Johnson to the general public, you almost forgot he was a wrestler.
I think he has transcended now. Yeah, I think now he
And
probably
that's
is
my
more known
point.
for his acting.
That could be Irvin Legend. Like 10 years from now, we might know Irvin Legend as the actor, not the used to be wrestler.
Could be, because I mean, I know we talked about it pre-show. I mean, not that we're trying to scare anybody and say like, "Oh, Urban's never going to wrestle." Like, no, he's going to wrestle. But I think sometimes it's a good idea if your passion starts to flag to take that time and take that break. Sometimes it is a case of you got to take something you love and go, "How can I miss you if you won't go away? How can I miss you if I don't take a break from you?"
It's just, after being in the same business for a while, like, I don't know, just stuff I look at differently now.
Maybe it's it was your dream girl and now you're there and you see more of the flaws, and like I say, maybe you need a little vacation to kind of
Right.
remember why you fell in love in the first place.
Maybe. The movie is called Red Notice. It's on Netflix. Red
Okay,
Notice
yeah.
with Gal Gadot, who is Wonder Woman, or the Dwayne Johnson and Ryan Reynolds, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But a lot of action. Like the whole movie is nonstop thrill ride, but there's some comedy mixed in there because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So,
And for some reason, I don't know what happened to the audio, but the audio got shut out on my end.
What, you couldn't hear us?
I can hear you, but it ain't as loud as it was about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, probably because I keep moving my damn thing around.
Yeah, stop screwing things up.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, so to me, when we brought you on here for this time around,
Okay.
I almost knew that we would talk more about the rest of what else is going on in your life and not wrestling. The last time we had you on, it was an hour of wrestling. But now it seems like wrestling is kind of on the back burner. You still have the itch because you're still going to do the AWA thing in Maryland. But at the same time, it's not your leading driving force anymore. And now you're just focused on Irvin Legend. Whether that is Irvin Legend, the rap artist, whether that's Irvin Legend, the entertainer, whether it's Irvin Legend, the actor, whether it's all three or all the above. Now you're just focused on, am I wrong?
I mean, it was an easy decision. I just want to be happy. Like, just bust some ass for years and years and years, and profession is so demanding. It just gets tired. And, you know, I'm almost 30, so it's like I got to start looking at stuff for me, be happy for me. So, I mean, I'm not saying you can't be happy in wrestling, but I just want to be happy in general because wrestling had a good effect on my life and a negative effect, and more so negative because there was a lot of stress. So, I mean, yeah, I was, and then after the whole AEW thing, I was like, yeah, I need to kind of focus on myself. So
that's what I'm getting out of you, and it's healthy. It's healthy. Believe it or not, it's healthy. Going through what you went through is healthy because now you know what you want, and you know what you need to do, and so now you have a more clear path than the what ifs and all that stuff that comes with wrestling. The, as you called it before, behind the scenes stuff happens, shit happens, people say shit, and there's a lot of pulling the rug out from underneath you kind of thing going on, and that happens to a lot of people when they have a dream of doing something, but really, to me, I think your dream is just to be successful, and you have a lot of talent. Whether it be music, whether it be acting, whether it be how you look, you work out hard, you work hard, you're in tremendous shape. So it doesn't have to necessarily be in the ring. It could be doing whatever, just being you and entertaining people. And I think that's what you've always wanted to do, is entertain people. And whether that be in the ring or whether that be up on a stage, I have no doubt that eventually you're going to entertain a lot more people than you've been.
I mean, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. My long-term goal is to leave a legacy and to entertain, whether that be in the square circle, on the TV screen, or through a microphone. Like, I'm multi-talented. Now it's just like I went as far as I wanted to in wrestling, made my friends. I mean, money wasn't all that, but it's like more so for the memories. So now I want to try something else.
Yep. And listen, my man, as always, you have our 110% support in whatever you do. We're going to continue to follow your career and wherever it leads. And just because we're diehard wrestling fans, and that's, we've gotten to know you personally, and I appreciate you for getting to know you personally, because I could just imagine what your motivational speaking seminars are like, because every time I talk to you, you inspire me to do better. You inspire me to have a better show. You inspire me to be a better person. You inspire me to get off my ass and make things happen rather than sit around and just hope they happen. And I appreciate you.
Hey man, thank you. You were there for me when I was in a very rough spot. I mean, so it's mutual, So I really appreciate y'all, always welcoming me on the show and let me talk and message me and stuff. That's cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Irvin, you are always welcome here, and you're always welcome to text me anytime. And I hope you know that.
Right. Absolutely.
So in the meantime, if you want to catch Irvin Legend, he will be with AWA come April. He's got music in the works, so stay tuned to his social medias, and he'll let everybody know what he's up to, as he always does, and what other acting projects he's got coming on in the fall. I'm sure he'll be promoting that too, because if he's good at anything, Keith, he's really good at self-promoting. So he will let everybody know, his fans and everybody that watches our show and everybody that has ever heard the name Irvin Legend, that he will let us know when the next project's going on, whether it be music, whether it be acting, whether it be whatever he does. And I have no doubt, Keith, and I'm sure you agree, that he will succeed in whatever he does.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your one-word answer, Keith.
No, I mean, you said it perfectly.
Right.
You know,
I know.
your
Okay.
drive, and like you said, Irvin, when we met you, you were coming off of some really bad stuff. And fortunately, you had the right people, you had the right conversations that helped you get back on track and helped you realize your value and your worth. And I'm very happy that we could be a small part of that. I'd like to think we were a small part of that. And I mean,
Right.
yeah, just you are a talented guy and you have dreams and you have goals and you have drive. And that's inspiring to people because, you know, there's a lot of people out there, they have dreams, but they don't have that confidence, or they have that nagging little voice that's always like, yeah, but you can't do that. That's for other people to do. That's not for you to do. And it's important that there are folks like you out there that are saying, no, I did it. I did it with everything I had. You can do it too. And I'm so happy that someone like you is part of my life, you know, and appreciates what we're doing and appreciates coming on here and spending your time with us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, don't forget that this Wednesday is a special end of the year spectacular for 2M1L Media. It is our second annual one, Keith. We did one last year at the end of 2020. We said goodbye to 2020. Now we're saying goodbye to 2021. TJ Spitter will have on some surprise guests. You and I will have on some surprise guests.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody involved with 2M1L Media will show up at one time or another. So we'll look forward to that. That is Wednesday night live on this channel, on the YouTube channel at 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday night. So we're looking forward to that. We had a great time last year. Chrissy popped on. It was great. So we hope to entertain everybody again for an hour. And that's all we do. We come on here and entertain, inform, educate, inspire. Speaking of inspiration, he is Irvin Legend. He has been our guest. And man, it's been a pleasure. I want to wish you again a happy New Year, and I hope you had I hope you had great holidays, and you and your family. And Keith, as always, my partner, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year to you. And I'm gonna see you both very, very soon. Neither of you go away. I'm gonna sign off. I'm the Big Alboski. He's Professor Keith. He's the man, the myth, Irvin Legend. And this was Around the Turnbuckle. See you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you gonna do, brother? Oh, yeah! Woo! What?